You know he talked about this in his inauguration address, right? Like, we are going to take over Panama Canal. Let's see what he said.
I love this stuff.
I know.
I'm like, welcome back, Donald. It's good to have you.
Yeah. Well, let's back up a little bit. So I'm going to be a peacemaker and a unifier, right?
Yeah. The first way to do that is start taking over countries. Canada, Greenland, Panama. Like, after that, we're going after New Zealand. We need some other peaceful country that we can just take as our own. Bring back imperialism.
You got to rewind, though. You can't even start outside our own borders. First of all, you got to start with Mount McKinley, because this is absolutely critical. This is inaugural address content, is that we are going to restore the name of our great president, William McKinley, to Mount McKinley. He made our country very rich, and he gave Teddy Roosevelt money in order to help build the canal, so... Panama's promise has been breaking. And so they've been overcharging, especially the United States Navy. And we didn't give it to China. We gave it to Panama, and we're taking it back.
Yeah.
He also said we are going to rename the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
Right.
And he put his money where his mouth is. I am going to pull up for you the Restoring Names That Honor American Greatness Executive Order signed on January 20th, 2025.
Yeah, let's get it going. Yeah. Get it going.
So, Section 3, renaming Mount McKinley.
And if memory serves, we changed it from Mount McKinley to
Denali.
Denali, right? Because because of the native peoples there, right? Like, that's
right.
We were trying to do right by people that we had wronged before.
And now our attitude is fuck them. We're taking it back.
Back. It's like, wait a minute, we just did wrong by McKinley now. Like, we can't have that.
Kalyn, here's who we've done wrong by. Crusty old white guys.
Yeah, dead 100 years or something. I don't know how long he's been dead.
He died September 14th, 1901. He was assassinated.
Close. Right. Like, doing wrong by a big group of people, not good. But doing wrong by one white person, we cannot have that. Like, we can't have that at all. There he is.
There's
William
McKinley.
He's got that strong butt chin. Yeah,
he sure does, man. That's leadership. That's presidential. So,
he looks like a fun guy, for sure.
Oh, yeah. that dude knew how to party, man.
Hell yeah. Like, party doesn't start till McKinley walks in, for sure. Like, he's like, sup, with the butt chin.
In Trump's America, we are gonna party McKinley style, baby.
Oh, yeah. Like it's
1899, baby.
Like...
that's what we're about. I mean, but listen, naming our own mountains is one thing. And by the way, they're not changing the name of the national park, and the Secretary of the Interior will work with Alaska Native entities to find other landmarks that are gonna honor the...
We're like, listen, you bitches can't have the biggest mountain we've got, okay?
No.
Like, we need to reassert our authority here over indigenous peoples, I think. Like, we gave them biggest mountain? No. Like, we could give them a lake or something. Like, not like a big lake, but like a lake of some size.
Who better to name our biggest mountain over than a president that the average person on the street couldn't pick off a lineup? Like,
to be honest, I didn't even know that McKinley was a president. I thought it was like the explorer that found the mountain or whatever. You know.
See, you're not from Ohio, because his birthplace. I live within 5 miles of his memorial. I'm pretty sure. So yeah. So I mean, everybody's heard of Grant's Tomb, which is nearby.
Yep, everybody's heard of that. I just am bad at all of this kind of stuff. So like Grant's Tomb. Is that what you said? Grant's Tomb?
Yeah, Grant's Tomb. All right, let me see if I can figure out where Grant's Tomb is. I don't want to speak out of my yin yang.
Oh, yeah? I do that the whole time we talk. That's like that's what I do.
Grant's Tomb is in New York. Who's in freaking? I can make up a name. You would.
You could. Rutherford B. Hayes Tomb.
No, but I could be like President Peterman, and you'd be like, oh yeah. and that's not a president, you know?
Yeah. That's true. Yep. That's true. So
All right.
So I started Googling Grant's tomb. The first thing that came up is Grant's tomb, but the second thing was Grant's tomb joke.
Yeah. No, it's like this famous thing to add, like who's buried in Grant's tomb or something.
Right.
Yeah. Read the joke. Open it up. What does it say? Is it a Wikipedia article?
No, this is a guidepost. So you probably remember the old riddle from your school days.
Yeah.
I totally remember this, yeah. Who's buried in Grant's tomb? The right answer would be Ulysses S. Grant and his widow,
And his
Julia.
Wife.
Widow.
Right.
Yeah, Julia and their dog, apparently.
Yeah.
More particularly, they're not really buried there. They're entombed, as my friend reminded. Okay.
Right.
So this is the joke, is that his wife is also buried there? Like, that's hilarious. Like, man, they know how to write jokes. Like
in 1870.
Yeah, 1885. Yeah, they're like, I've got something that's gonna be so funny. We're gonna bury your wife here too.
And your dog.
God, man, what a knee slapper.
And then we're gonna run around with this brain teaser. Who buried a
Here's the riddle for you. Who's buried there? Like, oh, the guy it's named after? Yeah. Yep, and his wife and his dog. Yeah, man, keep them coming. What else you got for me?
I have more William McKinley facts because I know you're dying for him.
Yeah.
I read an audience and I'm like,
let's go.
So the guy who came after William McKinley's a little more famous, Teddy Roosevelt. So Roosevelt was McKinley's vice president. Now, I think if we went and named it Mount Roosevelt, I don't think there's all that many people that would be unhappy about that. But he must be a Democrat. I don't know. The guy before McKinley is someone we've mentioned on this very show, Grover Cleveland. Inspiration.
Man, we're going to have to rename this Robert and Kalyn Learn About the Presidents. Like... and history generally. Yeah.
And, Thurgood Marshall and others.
Right. Yeah. Notable figures in the U.S. history.
That we sort of kind of remember something about.
I don't even know why I remember, like, Rutherford B. Hayes. Like, that's a president I always name if people are like, let's come up with the names of presidents.
I always say Martin Van Buren.
Buren, yeah. I do that one too. I know I got that from you. Like...
Right. Well, I remember from our youth. So I was in middle school or so, and we went on the family vacation. We're at the crap, motel. I imagine if I took Andrea back to like where we stayed. And the pool, she would be horrified.
Right, Super 8 level, like.
Yeah, the
better than Motel 6 maybe.
The this or that motel. When the doors are on the outside of the building, I don't think Andrea has stayed at a place like that in her life. So. Maybe growing up as a kid, but the idea of me, hey babe, we're gonna drive to Yellowstone. We're gonna stay at the.
We're gonna drive for 3 days straight. Meanwhile, staying at shitholes all along the way, and then we may camp once we get to wherever we're going, or we'll stay at another shithole motel. But they might have like an indoor pool. Maybe.
Yeah. When the sign says color TV and air conditioning.
Right. They have a vacancy sign, like in neon. Right.
So anyway, we're in the crappy motel pool, and we're playing pool games, right? And you're playing that one game where like...
categories.
Categories. People have to swim across. And so you had picked... Presidents of the United States. Anyway, we'd done several categories, and I had picked things that were too hard for you because you were too young. And so Mom whispers in your ear, whatever he says third, go on that. So I picked, I was like, Ronald Reagan, John F. Kennedy, Martin Van Buren, and Martin Van Buren.
Let's go.
And I was like, Kalyn picked Martin Van Buren.
I don't remember this at all.
No, of course not. It was just another day in the life.
Yeah.
Though.
Right. Like, yeah, I totally know who that is. Like, everyone can name that president. Like, it's definitely in the top 10 that anybody.
Every third grader or whatever. Like,
yeah. Yeah, that's so funny.
I'm not sure that I could string together a paragraph's worth of material about Martin Van Buren, but
to like level my computer, I just pulled out a book that was like U.S. presidents. So, not joking.
Yeah, I believe you.
Yeah, see?
And their
presidents
wives.
And their wives. Yeah. Let's see, Martin Van Buren. That's another guy I'd be like, I want to party with you, dude. I love those chops.
Sideburns Van Buren.
Yeah, that's right.
Why aren't we calling this freaking Mount Van Buren?
That's a good question.
He was the president after Andrew Jackson.
Yeah, and the one after him is Henry Harrison, which was our shortest president in duration.
Oh, yeah, he died like 30. Is he the one who got shot? And
No, he got pneumonia during his inauguration and died within 30 days.
Wait a minute.
Like that.
His spouse was named Hannah Hose. H-O-E-S.
Hannah Hose. Yeah, I told you this guy likes to party.
Yeah.
Like
all the hoes come down to the White House when Martin's in the
That's
in
right.
Town, baby. Martin in the house.
Yeah. Back to Harrison. Election was in 1840, and he died April 4th of 1841. So 3 months roughly. And then after him is
pulling out the facts about a president.
I actually have one about the next one, which is John Tyler, and that's that his great grandson is alive today. John Tyler.
Great grandson.
He's really old, and like Tyler had his last kids when he was like a million. He had a first wife with whom he had 3 sons and 5 daughters, and then after her death, he remarried, and they had 5 sons and 2 daughters.
God damn, Tyler, slow down,
That's
man.
15 kids. 15 kids.
Woo! Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he got it on late too, then, baby.
Yeah.
Some of those 27 kids of his are
15 kids. We need to have some labor here for our farm, or whatever.
Or whatever it is that John Tyler did for a living.
Yeah. Also, what else are you gonna do?
There's no TikTok, so you might as well get at it on.
True. Yeah.
You think we'll have a TikTok bump from it being blacked out on Sunday? Do you think we'll have a bump in
for one day
birth rate in the morning from midnight to 12:30 in the afternoon?
Right. There were so many posts apparently, like on Reddit, of people being like, "Oh no!" Like just disaster. There was one that was a dude that got a tattoo of like a tombstone with the TikTok emblem on it. It's like, dude, you didn't even wait a week. Like you got it on the day, like, and then it's back online.
That is the shortest lived relevance for a tattoo there ever was, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why you're getting a TikTok tattoo anyways.
Listen, if you're an influencer and you made $1 million on TikTok and you're like, thank God for TikTok, it's my gravy train. Like, I could envision getting a TikTok tattoo. It's not impossible.
Yeah, I cannot imagine you getting anything tattooed on your body. Full stop. True.
True. Yeah. Based on how Cody behaved today, he ain't never getting tattooed on either one of his parents. So.
Oh, what did he do?
It was just Cody being his grumpy self. Like, well, first of all, they canceled school 2 days in a row because of extreme cold. So you know it's damn cold up here. So anyway, Andrea's coming home, stopped at Home Goods, grocery store. Yep. Had plants that she is bringing home from the office today. We come in and she's like, opens the door, shouts down to the basement, Cody, can you come help us? Carry stuff up. But he comes up, he's like, I don't have a coat. I don't know where a coat is. I can't. That's it. That's exactly it. And Andre's like, go to the front closet and get a coat. Be a productive member of the household,
Right. Yeah. We're not like, figure out how to like make nuclear fission happen. Go now, do it. Get on the carry in plants.
Get on the spinning wheel and weave yourself a new coat.
Right. Yeah. Build a loom and start to make yourself some thread.
Now you're talking John Tyler area. John Tyler's like, damn it, kid, get in here. Help me carry this sheep inside.
Right. I've got to
kid's-
butcher this thing or
And
something.
the kid's like, Lord Mr. Tyler, I'm afraid I have no shoes.
And he's like, damn it, child! Like,
Gets the rod out. starts
right,
beating-
yeah. I don't think you were allowed to like have attitude to your parents in like the 1800s. Like,
I don't think you're even allowed to ask clarifying questions, honestly.
right. Yeah, that's when like children are meant to be seen and not heard, that whole thing where it's
Yeah.
like, we don't recognize that you're a human yet, okay? Totally.
Now McKinley, look, if you pull up McKinley's picture, like that dude beat a kid, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, McKinley, he wasn't fucking around for sure.
Listen, you don't get a mountain named after you for being all soft and fuzzy. You know?
Yeah,
you
there he is. Like,
He's like, kids, bring the plants in the house, and they're like, yes, sir.
yeah, like, man, totally. You're like, you're definitely trying to get ahead of requests with this guy, like, like, yeah. Like, I don't want Dad mad at me at all because I will die. Last time he got out the Switch and started beating me with it. I was black and blue for a month. I don't know.
He's a president in the White House. He's like, can somebody anticipate my needs around here?
Yeah.
All right, listen, we've veered way off the subject. We got to get back to what's important.
Right, our current president.
Yeah, Section 4 of the same act, the Gulf of America. We have signed this executive act, the area formerly known as the Gulf of America of Mexico.
I like that we already say formerly.
Yeah. As of the signing of this, it's formerly the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah,
At least,
yeah.
Well,
we can just name stuff what we want, right? I mean, do we have to have a consensus with the international community on?
Well, I was reading an article on this very question because I wanted to know that. And bottom line is this: the United States has the power to name anything it wants to within the United States. The Gulf of America is common waters. We'd have to get international alignment, at least between us and Mexico. Mexico has been like, yeah, right, go to hell. The president of Mexico proposed renaming America to be called Mexicana Americana or something.
Yeah, you guys call us whatever you want. Like,
Yeah. But you know who Trump has put on the job for this? The Department of the Interior Secretary, right? And who is that?
I think I know.
Tell
is it
us,
something
Kalyn.
super sexy?
Absolutely.
Is it Bergam? Like, I didn't know we were going to be talking about that guy. Woo! Turn the heat on. Ooh. God, I'm starting to sweat.
Trump looks
Bergam.
around the room and he's like, who's a guy who can get things done?
I need to put somebody super sexy in charge of this job. And it's you, Bergam. Get
Doug.
over here.
Doug, come in the room. Listen, here's what I want you to do. First order of business.
We need an urgent meeting. Discuss your priorities. I don't know what you're planning on working on first in the Department of the Interior, but I have number one goal. Don't let anything come ahead of this. Is let's get this naming convention straight.
Yeah.
For the friggin' Gulf of the Americas.
Bergam, I want you to find every textbook in America.
Yeah.
I want you to go to
Burn them. We're starting a freaking bonfire with that shit. We need to definitely whitewash this history. Like, wasn't Trump like really pushing for us to get rid of TikTok?
I know. I don't know how this cat pulls this off. Like back in I think it was about 2020, like right before before Biden. He's like, yeah, we're thinking about blocking TikTok, getting rid of TikTok, and he's like, he instigates it. The Republicans like drive it through Congress, get it passed, years later, and then who saves the day?
And he's like, executive order, like, flip that shit around.
Yeah.
Like,
Trump's here to save TikTok, and you're like,
yeah, right. Because how else are people going to be watching the inauguration? I think that was the argument. Like, he was pushing for this to happen before the 19th. I'm like, is this the way that people watch the inauguration? I mean, sure, clips of it later, but like, this is where you're like, I'm live streaming this on TikTok. I don't know.
I get the sense there's people out there that they don't get any information that they don't see on TikTok. So,
I mean, I don't know what the kids do these days.
So I just pulled this up, but presidential action, defending women from gender ideology extremism and restoring biological truth to the federal government executive order.
So, like, we can't put anything besides he or she now on government documents. Is that right? Is that what that's saying?
I don't know about the pronouns, but you only
there's
options are
like
male and female. Yeah.
Good, because I'm fucking sick of having a third box that I could check where it's like other or not specified or something.
I
like,
know.
like
It's these ideologues trying to cram this stuff down.
yeah, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Can I fill out a form in peace without having somebody?
Yeah, are you always trying to push your trans agenda on me? God. You're like, are you a girl, Kalyn? Are you? Are you sure? Like, have you thought about it a lot, Robert? Are you male? Do you know? You might want to check that unknown box. No more.
Kalyn, I think based on our technical challenges, I think it's time to wrap up this episode. Let's cue the music. You've been listening to the Robert and Kalyn Get Rich podcast. I should have said, like, the Robert and Kalyn talk about presidents throughout history.
Learn notable American people.
Robert and Kalyn talk about whether presidents beat their children or not podcast.
What weapon of choice do you beat your children with?
If you're Rutherford B. Hayes or Franklin Pierce.
Right, yeah, exactly. Martin Van Buren.
Martin Van Buren, he liked a willow switch. John Tyler, he had a belt, and William McKinley, like
a paddle, a wooden paddle. He carved it himself.
Back from his hunting days as a boy, he carved it out of antlers, and
that's right.
They used to shove it up his own asshole.
Yeah, he had to cut down that whole tree himself and whittle the entire thing by hand with a butter knife. And his kids were gonna feel his wrath.
This is episode 37. Today is January 21st, 2025. I'm your student of history, Robert Kimmel. This is Professor Emeritus Kalyn Kimmel, who can name one president of the United States from before 1900. Please, won't you like, subscribe, leave us a comment, send us guest suggestions. Our email address is robertandkalyngetrich@gmail.com. Kalyn is spelled Kalyn. And don't forget, this is not financial or investment advice as much as it sounds like it. With that, Kalyn, bye-bye.